So, yeah, this is devlog number 1 for this game. I've been working on it for about 2 days now, and I've gotten the basics down of it. So I'll just show you real quick the GitHub page. So everything in this repo you can use. You can use the art. I've done it myself. The button sprite asset pack is by, I don't know how to pronounce the name, but it's here, and he says is it free for commercial use? Yes, but I will credit him not only here. The fonts I've used, you can see here, FFF forward. I was gonna use another one, but it was hard to read, so I tried fixing it up. This is the icon for the game. This is these are like the sprites made. You can use all of these if you want. I will change that one and that one. This one is probably final, not sure. And I will probably make a background sprite as well, but for now this will have to do. So I will go over a few things here real quick. I'll just optimize that real quick so there's no things like that. Yeah. And okay, so I'll start by starting here in the main. So basically the thing that I set up is I had a base for a platformer, which I've made. It's for my last project in my programming course in my school, which I have a technology degree. So and that includes web programming, so HTML, CSS, PHP, and then there is web server programming, which includes MySQL, Apache, stuff like that. And then I have this, my programming degree, or my programming course that I go. Right now I think I'm in programming 2, so it's still pretty basic, but I've been doing side things all the time, and I've been programming for I'd say about 8 years now. I started when I was around 10, somewhere there, with pretty basic things like like before that I've done like Scratch and stuff, but that doesn't really count. But I actually started programming. What did I use? I think I used Unity back then. A few like basic just controllers, and just built a few maps. And back then I was sort of into making a first-person shooter, but since you can't really do that when you're alone at like 12 years old, so I worked a few years on a few different first-person shooter controllers, and I built a parkour game sort of, but I never released any of them because I knew they were never that good to release. I've tried releasing other games. I've tried being in game jams, like smaller game jams, but the thing is I don't have the drive or the time to finish a game properly without having a sort of a thing pushing me. Like it's hard to finish games when you don't really know how to do a lot of things, and then you get stuck. And it's been hard before, but now since I've had around 3 years now of actually studying Java as a language, I've been doing very basic stuff at my school, since I only go to since I go to a school where we program. It's only a gymnasia. I'm not sure what it's called in English, but here in Sweden it's called gymnasia. It's before university, so and it's kind of basic, but it put me in the shoes of a Java programmer. I've basically only done Unreal, their like Unreal script thing, and C Sharp. That's basically the only ones I had. I've very, very basic knowledge of HTML. I've just done a few very simple websites just to practice before, but this has basically been my introduction into the programming scene. But since I had a background in C Sharp, Java has been really easy to learn. The only thing is that I used the game engine called Unity, as I said before, when working with C Sharp, so I didn't really have anything to start at when I started out doing Java. It was very basic. I just started doing like text-based things where you have a JFrame and sort of like a the what's it called, the swing swing window, and you can choose different names of like your character, and then you can choose like different ways it would go. So like, oh, I want to go take the right step here, and then you would meet like, you know, scripted text-based games, which they're pretty easy to do. You know, you could write a custom name, you could make like strength modifiers. You had strength modifiers where if you would pick strength as your second highest skill or whatever, or you would give the second, like basically like Fallout system. It was very basic. So the thing that gave me the most or the most work was when we started doing stuff in JavaScript. Since JavaScript and Java is very, very different, it's not even close to being the same thing. But I started using the canvas as a base for a JavaScript game that I did. I could show you real quick now. I'm just gonna get it up on screen. I have all my. I'm gonna link my profile on GitHub. If you want to see, you can go there to all of my projects. So I'm just gonna find real quick. So I had basically a few sort of like wait, let's see, is it JavaScript? Yeah, here it is. So I basically had here, I made sort of like a group project where I had one art creator from my school and then 2 more programmers. They didn't really program though, because they didn't really know what they were doing. I tried to give them tasks, but they didn't really work on it anyways. And as you can see, the 2 contributors, as you can see here, it's loading. But basically he did 1 commit and I did 52 commits. So there's like a pretty big difference there. But basically what I did here was I I basically made a project where you could I think I actually have this hosted here. Yeah, I have. Okay, yeah, I have. Yeah, so you just need to load it. There we go. Yeah. I have this unmuted on OBS, otherwise it would hear a very bad song. But basically this was like the first real work I had done with basically creation of like this, like an inventory system, an equip and an unequip button. You can drop it and it goes like that, and you can pick it up again, and basically an inventory system. And also here you go to the door and press F. Wait, what was it? Was it enter? Oh, I don't remember what it was, but you could shoot, you could swipe, you could run. Is it here? Oh yeah, read letter. Yes, you just need to move the way like that, and then you could go up to here and whatever. You could get to level 2. I think I could do it like this. Yeah, so there it is. How did I get here? And I started working on getting the holes done, and we had a few enemies set, but we couldn't really finish it since the deadline was pretty short. But this was basically my first like game that I built from the base up. I drew the character. It was only a placeholder character. We do have another character and a few other enemy sprites, but this character I drew just from a tutorial of how you draw things, and I couldn't really figure out how to animate it, so I did a very basic thing here. So the next project I did, as I said, like real project, was the end project, and then here, and new window, and I can show you how this looks. So this is basically a platforming game where you can get hit and you don't die yet, but you can pick up key and then you say win here. But I will have a door sprite change, but that's basically the second one. And now I've made this. So this is a game where you will be able to place seeds on a I'm gonna make like sort of an island around here. So where you will like plant seeds. They will always be the same seeds, but you can go ahead and pick up seeds, and you will press E and you can plant them and stuff. Obviously I would have a grid here where you can place them in grids, and you can see them watch. They go up a few ticks by every days, depending on which seed it is. So the seeds are the same, but I have a sort of a twist on it, which means or which is that the character that you are here is a magician, and you will soon be able to go to the shop, and there will be a shop button here. You will click on the shop, and you can buy new spells and use the spells, which you will have here in an inventory system like this. You can have up to 4. My plan is 4 equipped at the same time, and then you will be able to press I, go into the inventory, and switch out those. But you can only do that when you're in your house, unless you have a magic backpack. But whatever. So you get the money when you harvest the seeds, and then you go to sell them at the shop. You can sell not sell the seeds, sell the plants. But also the plants can give you new spells if you combine them, and things like that. So that's basically the base of the game. But right now I only have a very simple platformer. I'm still not sure how to animate in Java. I know you can do it, but I know a system how to do it. But the thing is, it's like, basically making your own timer, and that timer goes down, and every frames it goes down by like 0, 0, 1 or something, and then when has gone down a few, it will change the sprite and stuff. That obviously will happen in the future, but right now I'm focusing on getting the basics down, and also there will be days, and when you sleep you can only sleep 1, and then you need to go to work. So you get 2 seeds per day, and then say I plant those, I'll sleep. So I can't sleep, and I can't place seeds and then continue on placing them, and I cannot place seeds inside the house also. And you can switch the resolution on it up to 4K. I am not sure of how to do full screen yet, but I'll probably fix that later. And also I'm having some issue where if you go to 4K, like a few centimeters, I think like 1.5 or like 2 centimeters on the right goes gray, and you can't load anything like, anything. You can basically not load anything, but I'm not sure if that has to do with something like loading. I don't know what that has to do with, but I'll figure that out later. But right now the problem that I'm having is I need to get the source of these, like of the images and everything, to a base source or whatever. Because I took out my laptop and I tried it on my laptop, and basically the thing that happened when I tried it on my laptop was that I couldn't load everything since I don't have a G directory or a G hard drive on there, so I couldn't really load them on there unless I changed the source, which if you go to my itch.io page and download it, you will have to change that to the directory where you downloaded this, or you git cloned it, or if you downloaded it as a zip, whatever. You will have to change the sprites, and also when I do import sounds, which I will be recording myself, and try to distorting them so it sounds good, but whatever. Also, an easy thing that I'm thinking about is not having animations and having like jumping animations, like it's like tilts to side when it's walking. So also right now the red around the character is only a hitbox thing, and also I'll try to fix this, but I don't really know how to do it when you're moving in many directions. I only know how to do it on a 2D direction as like a platformer or whatever, but I probably could fix it anyways, but whatever. So the thing is, I now I'm having a few problems, but those will change in the near future. Probably even when this is uploaded, I will probably fix those. But I've tried commenting, so if anyone wants to reuse my code, or if anyone wants to see how I've done something and copy it or get ideas from it, I've tried to comment stuff as good as I can. Obviously, you see as this set function, I just redid all my set functions so I can have like plant seed as a function and move as a function, so they're all not bunked, or like they're all not in the same function. So I have the move function here, and ignore the yellows. The yellows are just, it says that this is never this is never done, blah blah blah, blah. But I want to have, so if it's not up and if it's down, since I don't want it to move it when it's up and down at the same time. But obviously I don't really need those since I have this one, but it's just like a safety measure for now, just so I know that everything 100% works, but that will fix itself also later. I have a YS, which is basically Y speed minus or plus, whatever, if you go down or up. I have a friction set up here and here, so it cannot go over max speed, and here's the friction. And also here is my scaling function, like scaling functionality, which as you might have seen, the everything scales. If I go here and change it to 1080p, everything scales accordingly. So the text scales. Obviously there's a bit of a problem with ESS, but I think that's just a font problem. That's not really a problem with coding. But everything scales, the hitbox scales, the character scales, the house scales, everything basically scales, and it does scale down correctly, and the character is not out of bounds or whatever. I don't really have a failsafe if you actually get the character out of bounds, but I'll probably add that. But for now I don't have it. But the next thing that I have is yeah, this is how it looks. So if screen change, then, and if screen change is not ready, since yeah, I'll show you how it works later, but basically I just multiply everything by the base size. So 1.5, that's 1080, 2 is 1800, and 2.5 is this is 1800. I don't remember what it is. Yeah, you can see. So 720, 1800, 1080, 1440 is it, and then 1800, and then 2160, and then it goes to 720 again. And as you can see, the character and everything is still there. The days are displayed correctly. I made these buttons, since the sleep and seeds button don't really need to be changed in game. I just made them directly in Aseprite. And right now I don't really have any indication except the numbers of where you can that is changing, but I will try to see if I can basically get it to work with like fading or something, whatever. And also right now you can like get seeds just by spamming sleep, but I'll try to make some sort of timer so you just can't do that, and then just plant seeds and then something. So I'm gonna try to get like a health, or if you have like low money and you just can't get more, then you need to basically plant and make the seeds go up more. So basically optimization. The icon, as you can see here, is definitely not final. It's definitely not final. So this is a really bad sprite that I did, but I just needed something so I knew how to do it, because I didn't know. So I did this. You can probably do it in a better way, but this is how I did it. Obviously it's supposed to be 2 here, but when I do that, it spawns like somewhere around here. So it's almost half of it is off screen. I'm not sure if that has to do with me having 2 screens or whatever. I don't really know why it does that, but it does that. So I'm trying to fix it as good as I can, basically. So the next thing that I'm going to show you is my spawn thing. So this right now, I do not have anything on it. This is basically just instantiating it here. It's just making a new spawn block, and it's drawing it here on the screen, and it's basically just some sort of this is just a spawn place. I'm having that just so I just have a spawn area where I know the character is gonna spawn and everything. So it looks sort of scuffed, but it's fine. So the next thing, and as I said, this basically doesn't do anything right now. I'll probably fix something later where like that's where you get the car or something, and you drive, or your wand, or whatever, how you take yourself to the city and shop or whatever. Oh, I forgot to comment this, whatever. So this is the house, and this is the hitbox. This is the code that creates the house. And the house also, as I said, scales. It scales pretty nicely. I know that since Java is working pretty weirdly, scaling up things might not work. And also, as you can see, there's an issue there where it goes weirdly like that. But I think that's just gonna have to be like that. I'm not sure how to fix it, but I'm thinking that it's just gonna be like that. And also, the house is, as I said before, it's definitely not final. But it's looking pretty shit right now, but whatever. It's fine. And I'm trying to work on a full screen. I try to implement full screen, but I just went back because I had other issues to fix before I fixed the full screen. So just so I like have that as a extra option, since you don't need full screen. This is not a game where you require full screen. You can just get it up to 1080p and just drag it up. This is not a 1080p window though, but it's okay. Next, I'm gonna work on here. I can show you is I'm fixing the file paths right now, but I'm gonna fix the grid planning system, the spell sprite. I'm just gonna add one in here as well. Spell functions, and then obviously the inventory system, the seed growing, and fixing the store. And here's things that I've worked on so far. I think I've forgotten something I've done, but that's fine. And here, as I said, is my GitHub page. You can find every sprite here. Also the button asset pack, everything is here, just so you know you can get it down when you want it. If you want to use any of these buttons, I have them here. Obviously I have also used this empty button here, which is used for all my buttons, since I think that fits in pretty decently. I might pop it in later into a sprite and change this light gray to a dark, to like a black, just so it fits in with the every other black edge that is present on like the house and something, because it looks a bit weird now, but it's not that noticeable, so I think I'll keep it as it is for now. Yeah, so I guess that's it. If you want me to do to continue with these devlogs or anything, please hit a like or write in the comment. If you have any critique of how to help me, or if you can help me in some way, or help me with the file paths or anything like that, or just any sort of help or criticism against anything, I'll gladly take the help. It's very nice of you. And also I will probably continue doing these anyways, but if I see that a lot of people are watching, I'll try to get it as good as possible. Try to put more effort into the editing, and yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and thank you for watching. Bye.